Hi Capricorn, welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for October of 2020. As you'll find out in our horoscope that we're about to give you, balancing career and home this month might prove difficult, and if you want help and support with that, you can find it in a natal and transit reading, and you'll find a link to get you one of those in the YouTube description below. So Mars is going to be retrograde in Aries in your fourth house this month. That's going to bring some of the conflicts around home. And then there are several moons that are going to kind of intensify the situation. Hey, Julia, what do you have to say to the Capricorns of the world this month?
Hi Capricorn. So Mars is retrograde in Aries, which is your fourth house all month. And the fourth house is the house of family and home. And Jamie and I have talked about this cycle in August, in our August and September horoscope videos, because it's been in this house for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So you should also check out those to see how this cycle will feel. And we also talked about how Mars retrograde is going to be affecting the world at large by triggering that pandemic hot degree. And that video is in our 2020 news playlist. But generally speaking, since this is the house of family and home, you could be facing a lot of frustrations with your family members or issues around your home. That could be everything from sort of like, nosy landlords or housemates who are just kind of like being disrespectful. So, a bit of a frustrating time. Then Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, goes into Virgo on October 2nd, which is your ninth house. Now, this is the house of travel. It's the house of the higher mind. So if you're in a relationship, you're going to really enjoy trying to find a way to have some new experiences and adventure with your partner, or maybe learning something new, which is really, really mind expansive. And if you're single, then it's possible that you get a crush on somebody who comes from a really different background than you too. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication and mentation, goes retrograde in Scorpio on October 13th, which is your 11th house. This is the house of friendships, and it's also the house of long-term goals. So you might run into miscommunications and misunderstandings with your friendship groups. So be prepared to have to straighten those out if you need to. And it might be a time of reviewing and re-examining your long-term goals in general to see what you really need to get there.
Such good stuff. So right away at the beginning of the month, we have a full moon in the sign of Aries, which falls right there into your fourth house with Chiron, and then Mars, of course, is already there, just heating up this area of home and family. So everything that Julia said applies, but also I think a little bit more. The presence of Chiron with this full moon can dig up some old wounding from your childhood, from your family life, but it brings with it the potential for healing too. This moon, we've called it Nurture Yourself Before Others, because there is definitely an undertone of rebalancing where you haven't asserted yourself enough in the past. And that might be at home. And then in the middle of the month, on the 16th, we have a new moon in Libra, and that falls in your 10th house of career, a very important house for you, Capricorn, because you are so career-oriented. And new moons generally bring new beginnings. Now, you might remember from last month that the new moon was in Virgo. It fell up here in your 9th house, and it trined the pandemic hot degree and gave assistance in managing and processing the pandemic hot degree's lesson, which is about how do we control the things we can and let go of the things that we can't control, especially right now under the very oppressive conditions of the pandemic. This month, however, it's not going to be helping or assisting so much. It's going to be more intensifying and exacerbating all of the stress that the pandemic has you under, which is probably considerable because that pandemic hot degree and the planets that generated it are in your first house of self. So you are under extra pressure this year, and then this moon is going to heap whipped cream and a cherry on top of that. So this will be a time when you really need to contain yourself. And and bring some balance between career and home, definitely. So that's happening on the 16th, so you might watch out during the 3 days surrounding that. there's one more moon happening, and it's happening on Halloween. And this is a blue moon, which we call, which is what we call it when there's a second moon inside of a month. And so here we have it in your fifth house with Uranus, and that is a house of fun and the recreation that we do to kind of bring us some relief and some relaxation. It opposes Mercury, Mercury when it moves into that 11th house, and so it kind of paves the way for Mercury to, well, Mercury has already been in that house because at this point it's retrograded into Libra, so some of the pressure of Mercury retrograde is off by the end of the month, but it will come back on. And really what this moon has to do with is managing the fluctuations in emotion that come from Uranus conjuncting that moon, managing the balancing act between what you want other people in your life to do and what they're willing to do, and also managing your friendships and bringing your finest self to your friendships so that they can help bring you some relief during this very difficult and stressful year for you, Capricorn. So that's all that we have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find horoscope videos also on our website, pandoraastrology.com/horoscope. And you can find the news of the month on our website too, pandoraastrology.com/monthly forecast. And we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye.